Well, my friends, I am back. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And I have been thinking about something since maybe the spring and then the summer. And I thought, I wonder, would my friends and fans and YouTube family, we haven't done one in a long time, do a knit along. The problem with a knit along for me is, I knit so fast I forget and go ahead and knit up everything. And by the time you come back, I'm already done. So I'm going to try to slow myself down and let's do a knit along together. And I want it to be not so much a mystery knit along, but the challenge is I want you to go to your stash. You can't buy anything. You got to go to your stash. Don't be cheating. Look, if I can go back there in that room and see all that yarn, so can you. I went back there to look to see what I could find. And man, oh man, I don't know. Is this happening to you? Look how long I've been knitting and going on YouTube and making large projects. And when I went back in that bedroom, do you know it looked like I had more yarn than when I started? I don't know what's up with the yarn, but I just can't seem to get rid of it. It just keeps multiplying. But that just did not deter me. I said, okay, Jay, this is crazy. This is just crazy. So I thought that's a good name for a knit along. This is Jay's Crazy 8 KAL. And tonight is a preview of what's to come. Like a little trailer. All right, so first of all, when I went back to my warehouse, extra bedroom, when I went back, I have, bins and bins of stuff put in bins because that was just the way I started it, and I just keep them stacked on top of each other. So I started moving some of the bins around, trying to see. I used to be real good about keeping certain yarns together, certain brands, or I don't know, just different kind of yarns, certain weights. I used to be really good at keeping that together. Well, that's gone out the window. But I still had some that was still nice and neat in a bin, and I saw all of this mandala ombre yarn. And I thought, a lot of the YouTubers, when they do yarn hauls and things, and especially a lot of the crocheters, they have a lot of this yarn. I probably bought some because they were buying it. And I've used a little of it, but I thought, wouldn't that be good if I do a knit along with yarn that most people will already have in your stash? So you don't have to run out. Like I said, the whole challenge of this is to not buy anything. But let's knit together. I knit so much by myself. I would just love to have someone just to knit like it used to be. But of course, life has changed and a lot of things have changed, and a lot of people I don't even have groups or things anymore. But I still have you, my YouTube family, friends, supporters, and fans. And I thank you so much for all your support. So let's take a look at what I found back in my yarn stash warehouse. Let's see. I'll start over here. This is what you're going to need if you're going to do a knit along with me for this upcoming project. I won't tell you what it is right now. Just it's not so much a mystery. I just want to kind of let you get things together. Like I say, go back in your warehouse, and if you have some mandala ombre, or this can be any price point you want. You can have some beautiful gradient yarn. That would be pretty for this project. Or you could have, like I said, this ombre kind of in the middle. It's a 4-weight, of course. Or you can have maybe some stripe yarn. some of the other, I can't think of all the cakes. I think that's what a lot of you have. Like the cake type yarn where it has stripes. Any of that. And of course this yarn has good yardage. It's 344 yards in this little cake. And I have 3, but I don't think it'll take 3 for the project. But I had 3, so I thought, well, better to have 3 than to be sorry. So I have 3 of this particular color, and I don't know what color this is. Let me get my glasses on. I don't know. It's all marked off. I can get another, but anyway, it is a beautiful kind of a dark grayish green, not super duper black. It may look black on the screen, but it's not really black. It's more of a dark, kind of washed out, because that's what the ombre colors are. They're kind of washed out greens and grays. There it is right there. So I look in your stash and see what you have, either a gradient or an ombre or a cake that stripes, because I'm trying to fit a pattern into yarn I would otherwise not use. So that's what makes it a crazy 8. Then moving on to the center, just talking about yarn right now. Here's another color. My labels are so old, this yarn is so old, but here's a beautiful kind of tealish blue, green, all washed out. That's going to be pretty. Now I think I have a little extra ball, and then this is some that I had started to use. So that's 2 skeins or 2 cakes right there, and I have a little more of that one. And then this was one of the last things I bought at Joann's way before they went out of business. It was like a year or 2 before they went out of business. I bought this because I remember being over there. Oh, that was the time I lost my purse. That's another story. I lost my purse in the store. I think I told that story. But don't worry, I found it. I sent the angels out. Angels got it for me. But this is a beautiful color. Look at this. This is kind of a I don't know, washed out. It looks brown, but it's more of a wine, pinkish, melon color, soft pink. I think this is the one I would like to use, since this is for October. And I think that would be just a hint of autumn for me. What do you think? Can you see that color? Is it showing up okay? And I happen to have 3, because I remember in the store thinking, oh, should I get the 4? But the 4th one, someone said something one time on their part. I can't remember who it was. It's been years ago. They said when you buy these type, because a lot of you do the yarn hauls, and they said when you buy that, try to look at the top or so and see if you can see if they kind of line up a little bit. In other words, I wouldn't want a cake and then a lot of white was on this side or something, but just look at the top of it and see if they kind of match. And that's what I did. So, and the 4th one looked real different. So that's why I only got 3. I just remember, isn't it funny how you can remember things? So that's some of the yarn choices that's in my stash that I don't have to buy, because I have quite a bit of it. And I just think that color would be real pretty to have a knit along. Of course, you're going to need some needles of your choice, but I use, with the 4-weight yarn, I use a number 8 or a number 9 needle. These are just, I got all brands. You can, whatever brand is good for you. This is a US number 9. This is a Chagu, and it's 40 inches. So you're going to need something, like 36 or 40, but try not to buy anything. We're going to use what we have. This is just the red lace, so I already have And I have plenty of these. I just don't bring them out and use them. You know how you just have things right there on hand, and I just use the same needles over and over. And then I have bukus of new needles. I have to do that one evening. Do a needle haul and show you, talk about our needles. So, let me think of anything I want to add on this little section. Hey, Bert, look at the camera. Say hello to everyone, and are you in for the knit along? I hope so. So, let me go to something else now that I'm going to share with you before we do the knit along. Jay's Crazy 8 KAL. This is your preview. Back in just a moment. Alright, so I am back with the next part of this preview. Like I said, it's not really a mystery, because I'm working into, I've got two designs going on at the same time. And so this will be a faux swag sweater. I'm just simply going to call it Jay's Crazy 8 Faux Swag Sweater Knit Along. And the reason I'm using this particular pattern, because this one seemed to work well with yarn that's just crazy. Yarn that I would never probably could think of just the right project sometime to use. And so when I saw all of this beautiful stone-looking washed out ombre yarn, I thought, well, what if I use that to make a faux swag sweater? And the stitch I have is the thing that brings it all together. And the name fits perfect once you see it. So the first thing, you remember, all of my projects, we work from pretty much the same numbers, the same needle weight, needle size, yarn weight, where possible, and from the same size chart until we're doing something else. And so my size chart, if you've worked with me, we've gone over it many times, but I have 3 generic or standard sizes that I use that you would normally just get at the store. I don't do a lot of really detailed knitting for this faux swag sweater. It's really just the back of the sweater that comes over the shoulders, down the front, and makes a beautiful, beautiful faux tie sleeve in front. It's just really pretty. If you haven't made one yet, maybe you're not into it yet, but I promise you, if you give one a try and try one of the stitches that I've shared, your preference, I believe it will be something that you will enjoy making and wearing. Alright, so I have a size of small, medium to large equals 97 stitches. These are base stitches that will fit most people of this size. Okay? Medium or small, medium to large, 97 stitches. 1x to 2x, that's me. I'm in the middle. I need 105. That's what I've been using, and it works well for me. My bra size, so that you may kind of see where you fit, is 44 to 46. So if you wear a bra somewhere, close to 44, 46, you might go over just a little bit or something. Because remember, when we knit and block and steam, it's going to stretch. So 1x to 2x, 105 stitches is your base number. Alright, and this one, 3x to 4x, 113. Like I said, this is just a place to start. I call it a base number, 113 stitches. If you wanted to go up larger, I think you just add 8 more stitches to this number, and you'd be up in the next section. It is gauged on a US number 8 needle. That's what the yarn should be gauged to. I use a number 9 because I suffer from hot flashes and I have gotten fluffier over the years, and it doesn't make me go up to the next size. It just gives me a little body ease. It just opens the fabric up a little more for me. So I use a number 9. It's, like I said, you see all these yarns are number 4. I tried some in DK. It just depends on the DK. So I would stick with the number 4 because that's what all these numbers work best These basic numbers will work best with the number 4 weight yarn. Light to medium, not heavy yet, but just, basic number 4. So look at that and see if you've knit some with me before. See, it is great. You don't have to twist yourself to fit into a pattern. We make the pattern or the stitch fit us. All you have to do is use the same number that you used before. If you think you need to go up a little bit, then go up and try the next size. Or you have 4, what I call 4 free stitches at any time to get a pattern in or some kind of design or chart in, which is what we knit from. Everyone, everywhere, every size, you have 4 free stitches that you could put in to get that stitch in without having to go up another size. Does that make sense? So if I need to get a certain lace in, maybe I needed 3 extra stitches. And most time you just like, okay, I got to start all over and do the math. No, you just add 3 extra stitches to this. Or if you need 4. But now if you start going over 4, then you're just in the wrong size. Okay, so take a look at that and decide which, if you've not done it before, which size you may feel comfortable in. If you have done it before and if you like what you worked up in my Faux Swag Sweater collection, then stay with that number. Alright, so one last little thing, and let's just see what you think. Back in just a minute. Alright, last but not least, I wanted to give you a quick look at our chart, at our stitch chart. Now, if you're new to my channel, a few years back, I decided to I made a decision to go from typing out or trying to print up the regular word for word instruction. What's wrong with my tongue? Because I had, I've always done charts for a long time, but I had never tried to share it or teach it on YouTube. So I decided if I stayed and did things in a very simple manner, don't overdo, that's when you get in trouble, trying to overdo what you know. And I thought, well, why don't I just, like I said, when you don't know what to do what you know. I know this, and I know it in a simple form. So if you are new to maybe, or thinking about, or wanting to get into reading and working from simple charts, then I hope this is a place that you will stay and join us. I noticed I have got a lot of new subscribers, and I was just like, wow, maybe it's finally, a lot of people, it's different. And a lot of people, I don't know why they think it's hard. A first grader would look at this and go, that's a block, that's a stick, that's a circle, that's a TP, that's a seesaw. See, their little minds wouldn't even hesitate to be afraid. So, but I wanted to, on this Jay's Crazy 8 knit along, I thought, okay, when I saw this stitch, when you look at this, now you're going to get a good view and a good screenshot when we actually do on the next video, when we actually start the knit along. This is just, like I said, a quick look for you to kind of decide, I don't know, I think I'll just go on, I'll find somebody else. Whoops, I'll find someone else. Or you may say, yeah, I kind of want to get into this. You can knit faster, you have less mistakes, and it's a lot of fun. If you look at this chart, can you tell me, what do you see? There's something hidden in this chart. Something hidden in this chart, and once we start to knit it, you will be like, wow, Jay, I didn't see that. So take a good look, and then go back, and like I say, the challenge is to go to your stash and go ahead and find you some yarn. And if you saw because we're not going to really talk about the chart, I'm just letting you see a little bit of it to see if you see anything in here. But once we start knitting the chart, it will pop right out, and you will be so surprised at the mystery. Okay, going back real quick. Once you decide if you're going to do the knit along with me, and you decide on one of these sizes, go ahead and cast it on whichever needle you're going to use, a number 8 or 9, and just wait for me there. You don't have to stitch anything. Just cast on your number and just wait for me there when the video comes up. Video, you know, when we start the knit along. It'll be like next week or something, because you know I try to move things fast. Okay, so you saw that. So, and we will be ready, and I will share with you a sample, but I'm going to be knitting in real time. That's what it is. I knit along, but I do have a sample ready, but it's just not in one of these colors. And like I said, this is the color that I'm going to be using. Something pretty and autumn. Look at that. I'm excited just looking at the chart, just looking at the yarn chart. So this is Jay, and this is my first knit along this year, I think, and Jay's Crazy 8, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun. I don't know, maybe I'll think of something we can do in between knitting each line or something. I don't know. We'll just kind of take it as we go. But I want to just tell you right off the bat, thank you so much. All those who have supported me over the years. This is just wonderful. For the new people that have joined us, I don't know you yet, you don't know me yet, but if you stick around, I promise you, we can be good friends. That's my sidekick right there. That's Bird. Bird has been with me for a long time. When I first started, though, how many of you remember? That could have been a question I could ask. Okay, I think I'll hold that. I'll ask that question as a little. We'll have some little questions we can question and answer to see how I got my start on YouTube. Now don't go back and be trying to, it's going to be fun. All right, so let me get off, and like I said, because I have to start knitting, but I want just to be just up ahead of you just a little bit, not to have the whole thing go, ta-da, here it is. I want to knit with you, and I want you to knit with me on this knit along. So thank you for joining me tonight for this preview. Go ahead and cast on your number and just wait for me, and I will see you shortly. So stay tuned, more to come. Say bye, Bird. Look at the camera. Bye-bye.